In August 2024, the war took a shocking turn as Ukrainian forces launched a major mechanized incursion into Russia's Kursk Oblast. The operation was swift and bold, targeting the key town of Sudzha and bypassing smaller villages to disrupt Russian supply lines. Ukrainian armored columns using Western vehicles advanced several kilometers into Russian territory within 48 hours, catching Russian border guards and conscripts completely off guard. Panic spread among the local Russian population, unaccustomed to direct combat on their soil. The initial Russian response was chaotic, with authorities underestimating the scale until the full incursion became undeniable. Ukrainian troops, a mix of experienced brigades and special forces, quickly established a salient and encircled Sudzha. Russia scrambled to reinforce the area, deploying elite airborne VDV and Chechen Akhmat units to halt the Ukrainian advance. The world watched as the conflict spilled decisively onto Russian territory for the first time. The battle line shifted rapidly, with Ukrainian forces seizing dozens of settlements and threatening to break Russian logistics. The main prize, Sudzha, was now at the heart of a new and brutal front. Russian reinforcements rushed in, determined to prevent the town's fall at all costs. The stage was set for a grinding, high-stakes battle that would reshape the war's geography. Kursk, once untouched by ground combat, was now a symbol of the war's unpredictable escalation. Both sides braced for a prolonged and bloody confrontation. The Kursk front had opened, and nothing would be the same again. By mid-August, Sudzha became the epicenter of the conflict, its quiet streets transformed into a war zone. Ukrainian forces laid siege, using artillery and drones to wear down Russian defenses rather than storming the town outright. The fighting was brutal and close quarters, with both sides suffering heavy losses in block-by-block battles. For Ukraine, capturing Sudzha was a strategic and symbolic goal. For Russia, holding it was a matter of national pride. The town's population, once 6,000, was decimated. Most fled, but thousands remained trapped in basements without power or water. Daily life was reduced to survival amid constant shelling and shifting front lines. Russia deployed elite VDV and Spetsnaz units, but even these shock troops struggled in the urban chaos. Ukrainian mechanized brigades, skilled in urban warfare, pressed their advantage with small, agile units. The battle for Sudzha became a relentless meat grinder, consuming men and machines at a staggering rate. Civilians faced a humanitarian nightmare with evacuation corridors often too dangerous to use. The town was slowly pulverized, its homes and infrastructure reduced to rubble. The siege of Sudzha was a microcosm of the war's brutality. No clear victors, only mounting devastation. The world watched as the city's fate hung in the balance. Sudzha's suffering became a stark symbol of the conflict's human cost. As winter set in, the Kursk front froze, literally and figuratively. Mud, snow, and bitter cold halted large-scale offensives, forcing both sides into trenches and bunkers. The war devolved into a static stalemate, with daily life defined by frostbite, drone attacks, and relentless artillery. Exhausted troops rotated in and out, but morale and experience dwindled as fresh conscripts replaced veterans. Small-scale raids and sniper duels replaced sweeping advances. The map barely changed for weeks. Civilians near the front endured new hardships: scarce food, destroyed infrastructure, and constant danger. The landscape was scarred by craters and unexploded ordnance, villages teetering on the edge of a war zone. The winter-entrenched suffering for soldiers and civilians alike. Kursk's war had become a grim test of endurance. With spring's arrival in 2025, both armies prepared to break the winter deadlock. Russia struck first, launching a massive pincer offensive to encircle and crush the Ukrainian salient. Artillery barrages and armored columns battered Ukrainian lines, capturing villages and threatening supply routes. But Ukraine had fortified its positions, using minefields and elastic defense to lure Russian armor into deadly ambushes. The fighting was intense and costly, with neither side able to secure a decisive breakthrough. By June, Russia's offensive had stalled. Territory was gained, but the salient held. Ukraine counterattacked, regaining key ground and stabilizing their lines. The front lines shifted, but the war's outcome remained unresolved. The spring campaign set a new, bloody baseline for the summer ahead. Kursk's fate was still undecided. By July 2025, Kursk Oblast was transformed, a peaceful region now a scarred, militarized war zone. Towns like Sudzha were emptied, their people displaced and futures uncertain. Daily life was shaped by fear, hardship, and the ever-present threat of violence. Ukraine held ground inside Russia, pressuring logistics. Russia poured in resources, determined to reclaim its territory. The salient became a symbol of the war's expansion and a political sore for the Kremlin. The future was uncertain. Another Russian offensive, a Ukrainian push, or endless stalemate all seemed possible. Negotiated peace was distant. The fields of Kursk remained a battlefield. The war's surprise beginning had created a new tragic front line, one that showed no sign of ending.